You re-listening to this extraordinary unfolding story, an Iranian drone swarm assault on a U.S. aircraft carrier, the kind of high-stakes encounter that few foresaw and even fewer were fully prepared for. It began as a routine naval patrol, the carrier strike group slicing through international waters as part of ongoing U.S. strategic operations in a volatile region. The men and women aboard carried out daily routines flights, maintenance, communications worthy of admiration, yet vulnerable to the sharp edge of modern warfare. Intelligence analysts had noted increasing patterns of drone harassment and aerial vehicles circling at unnerving distances, sometimes violating safety perimeters near carrier groups, but no formal alarm had sounded, no elevated threat status was issued. Then came the attack, sudden and ferocious. Without warning, hundreds of drones loitering munitions designed for kamikaze strikes descended in coordinated waves from multiple vectors, overwhelming radar screens with sheer volume. Operators aboard the flight deck had never seen anything like it. The strike group's layered defense systems, Aegis-equipped cruisers, air cover, and ship-based missiles began their task, tracking, intercepting, neutralizing. Fighter jets scrambled in every direction, missiles trailblazing through the air, but the drone swarm exploited vulnerabilities in radar tracking, their low altitude and inexpensive designs turning them into stealthy threats. In the skies above, pilots fired everything they had. One squadron ran critically low on missiles. They resorted to using the aircraft's internal guns, hurtling toward the swarm in dangerous close-quarters engagements, the very brink of aerial duress. It was the fog of war in modern form, senior officers coordinating across multiple decks and radar consoles, pilots straining every resource to protect the vessel with lives aboard. The carrier itself, mighty and mobile, was the trophy of this unprecedented swarm. Reports suggested that some drones evaded interception entirely, striking the outer hull, denting steel and shattering port windows. Smoke billowed in isolated compartments, and emergency alarms pierced the chaos. Sailors sprang into action, firefighting teams moving with disciplined urgency, medics preparing to triage. The situation was dire but contained. Meanwhile, command decisions were unfolding in real time. Higher headquarters deployed reinforcements, additional drone hunter, fighters, air defense, artillery, electronic warfare sweeps, coordinated, simultaneous strikes from fleet missile systems and airborne assets targeted the origin of the swarm. A newly commissioned Iranian unmanned aerial vehicle, carrier rumored to be the converted container vessel now repurposed as an unconventional drone mothership, capable of launching and coordinating UAVs across oceans. A platform just recently observed during sea trials in late 2024 and commissioned in early 2025. Analysts surmised that this drone carrier, codenamed the Shahid Bahman Bagheri, was central to Tehran's plan for force projection, capable of remaining at sea for extended periods, launching waves of fast attack drones equipped with intelligence, surveillance, and surface-to-air defense systems. It represented a strategic escalation, from isolated drone harassment to coordinated swarm-based offensives against U.S. capital ships. Back in the war zone, the carrier strike group weathered the storm. Emergency containment succeeded. The crew's training paid off. Casualties were limited to minor injuries and psychological trauma, scared, shaken but resolute. Combat air patrol maintained scramble posture. Escorts circled overhead. Meanwhile, shared intelligence suggested this was not an isolated attack. Months earlier, Houthi forces routinely targeted U.S. vessels in the Red Sea with drones and missiles, prompting fierce retaliatory airstrikes by American and British forces. More recently, the Houthi leadership claimed drone strikes against the USS Carl Vinson in the Arabian Sea and boasted about forcing the USS Harry S. Truman to retreat northward. And in another episode in March 2025, Houthis launched over a dozen drones and a missile against the Truman strike group. American fighters intercepted them all. These incidents showed a growing pattern: unmanned aerial capabilities increasingly central in asymmetric naval confrontations. Yet this swarm attack was different. It was state-level escalation, a direct confrontation between Iranian strategic assets and U.S. naval power. The incident triggered immediate global reaction. In Washington, the Pentagon briefed the president, who refused to be drawn in by speculation. Analysts across the globe scrambled to fill timelines, searching for when, where, how. Satellite imagery tracked the drone carrier's deployment. Signals intelligence traced unique drone communication protocols. Tehran's motives were interpreted through the lens of deterrence, signaling, was it retaliatory, proactive, or purely experiential, a move to demonstrate new asymmetrical capabilities. Curators of global security watched closely. In the aftermath, U.S. Central Command issued measured statements: no catastrophic damage to the strike group. Some damage controlled, casualties minimal. But the message was clear: this was a new chapter in naval warfare. Congressional hearings followed. Questions about fleet readiness, drone defense, unmanned warfare doctrine came under scrutiny. Maritime alliances convened emergency discussions. NATO and Five Eyes partners began reviewing carrier group protocols. Meanwhile, Tehran issued cryptic press releases denying any offensive intentions while celebrating technological advances. They portrayed the attack as necessary deterrence, a defensive posture against escalating U.S. provocations in the region. Iranian state media emphasized the Shahid Bahman Bagheri's capabilities, not merely as a drone carrier but a mobile command center, projecting power and expanding surveillance and strike horizons back at sea. The carrier strike group resumed operations under heightened alert. Training intensified drone swarm drills, electronic warfare counterswarms, multi-layered interceptions. Pilots shared harrowing stories of running out of missiles in darkness, of pushing aircraft to their limits in close engagement with agile drone targets. The realities of modern aerial combat were redefined. Defense strategists called for increased investment in directed energy weapons, autonomous drone interceptors, enhanced electronic warfare, and ship-based close-on defense. Even now, as the naval group transits the region, the threat remains. Intelligence reports indicate that Iranian drone carriers and Houthi UAV capabilities have become operational realities, with global implications. The attack reminded the U.S. and its allies that drone swarms are not hypothetical, they are here and effective. And so, the watch continues. Sailors remain vigilant on the decks of massive warships bristling with missile systems and radars. Pilots patrol ever near the brink of drone engagements, expending scarce interceptors on swarms of inexpensive kamikaze drones. Strategists sketch new defense postures. Legislators demand accountability and readiness. The world watched as the unexpected unfolded. Iranian drone swarm attack on a U.S. aircraft carrier and realized that rules of naval war had irrevocably changed. History may remember this moment as the dawn of a new era, one where the sky above carrier groups is no longer a domain of dominance, but contested terrain, swarming with drones and uncertainty.